What if I told you that right now, all around the world, millions of people are making a life-changing decision at the same time? They're walking away from their jobs, not because they have to, but because they want to. It's not a small trend. It's not a temporary blip. It's a global movement. This is what the media has dubbed the Great Resignation, and it's shaking up the job market like never before. So today we're diving deep into this post-pandemic phenomenon, what it is, why it's happening, and most importantly, what businesses and individuals need to know as this massive shift unfolds. Whether you're someone thinking of quitting, managing a team, or just curious about how the working world is evolving, you'll want to stay with me until the very end. And hey, if this kind of content interests you, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for weekly videos on careers, marketing, in the ever-changing world of work. What is the Great Resignation? Let's start with the basics. What exactly is the Great Resignation? It's a term coined to describe the massive wave of people voluntarily leaving their jobs since the height of the COVID-19 pandemic. In the US alone, more than 4 million workers quit in April of 2021. Another 3.6 million followed in May. At the same time, companies were posting a record 9.3 million job openings. This mismatch of labor supply and demand revealed a massive shift in priorities. And even though those stats come from the US, the ripple effects are being felt around the world. Countries in Europe, parts of Asia, and even regions in Africa are reporting similar movements. People are quitting, not just switching jobs. They're rethinking work altogether. Why now? What's causing this shift? This movement isn't random. It's not just about finding a better paycheck or changing industries. It's deeper than that. The pandemic gave people something most of us didn't have before. Time. Time to reflect. Time to slow down. Time to question whether the daily grind was worth it. For the first time, we were forced to press pause on our usual routines. No commutes, no office meetings, just time, sometimes painful, sometimes peaceful, to evaluate everything, including work. People started asking themselves tough questions. Am I fulfilled? Does this job bring me meaning? Is this really how I want to spend my life? That mental reset made a lot of people realize that the jobs they were holding on to weren't serving them anymore. The question shifted from how much am I making to what makes sense for me. The desire for meaningful work replaced the chase for promotions and titles. The power of self-reflection. Self-reflection was one of the first big reasons behind this wave. Suddenly, the pressure of hustle culture didn't seem worth it anymore. Many realized they didn't want to spend the majority of their waking hours doing something that didn't align with their values. And it wasn't just about the work itself, it was about the life that surrounded it. People wanted more time with family, more space for hobbies, a healthier balance between work and personal life. These priorities became crystal clear during lockdowns and quarantines, when many of us had no choice but to stop and think. Work-life balance became non-negotiable. The line between work and life used to be fairly clear. You left your office and came home. Work was over. But when everyone shifted to working from home, those boundaries disappeared. Emails bled into late nights. Slack messages buzzed during dinner. Weekends started to feel like weekdays. It became obvious how unsustainable the always-on culture really was. Many people burned out trying to juggle Zoom calls with parenting, housework, and everything else, often in the same space. That burnout only pushed people further away from jobs that didn't respect their time or mental health. People no longer saw work-life balance as a luxury. It became essential. Remote work changed the game. Another huge driver of the Great Resignation is the realization that remote work works. For many people, working from home went from being a temporary solution to a preferred lifestyle. The flexibility, the comfort, the ability to move to cheaper cities or be closer to family, those were huge wins. Going back to the office started to feel unnecessary, even regressive. In fact, a US survey showed that nearly 40% of employees would consider quitting if they were forced to return to the office full-time. Among Gen Z and millennials, that number climbed to almost 50%. That's not a small group. That's nearly half the future workforce, making it clear. Flexibility is no longer a perk, it's a requirement. Physical relocation reinforced the shift. During the pandemic, many people physically relocated, moving away from expensive cities to more affordable ones or closer to loved ones. Some moved to the countryside, others moved abroad. This wasn't just about money, it was about lifestyle. And after making that move, many didn't want to go back, not just to the office, but to the entire life they had before. For those people, returning to their old job meant reversing the progress they'd made in building a better, more intentional life. It's easier than ever to switch jobs. Technology also made quitting easier. The rise of remote-first companies has opened doors that were previously closed. People can now apply for jobs across borders, time zones, and industries without ever leaving their home. Hiring platforms have grown. LinkedIn and social media have made it simple to connect with recruiters or explore new roles. The barrier to entry for finding better opportunities has dropped. Quitting no longer means stepping into the unknown. It often means stepping into something better. Mindful spending has shifted priorities. Another unexpected factor in this global shift is money, specifically how people are choosing to spend it. During lockdowns, we all got a lesson in what we really need. No daily lattes, no designer shoes, no extravagant vacations. People began realizing they could live on less and still feel content. This reevaluation of spending habits meant many didn't feel as financially trapped in jobs they hated. The need for high salaries diminished for some because they had already simplified their lives. And with lower financial pressure came the freedom to explore jobs that offered meaning over money. What can companies do about it? Now that we've talked about why millions are leaving their jobs, let's talk about what businesses can do in response. First and foremost, companies need to understand why employees are quitting. It's not just about pay. It's about culture, flexibility, balance, and purpose. If businesses want to retain great people, they need to listen, really listen, to what their employees are saying. One of the most powerful steps a company can take is to invest in a strong, inclusive, and supportive culture. People want to feel like they belong. They want to feel seen, heard, and valued. A healthy work culture isn't just about free snacks and team-building exercises. It's about respect, flexibility, transparency, and empathy. When people feel safe, they stay. When they feel appreciated, they thrive. Another critical shift companies need to embrace is remote work. This isn't just a trend, it's the future of work. While not every company can go fully remote, offering hybrid options is a must. And beyond that, companies should consider revisiting their compensation and benefits packages. Does it reflect the new reality of employees' lives? Are they supporting working parents, mental health needs, and flexible schedules? Are they helping employees grow both professionally and personally? Supporting dreams, not just roles. Sometimes, employees leave not because the company did something wrong, but because they've discovered a new passion or path. And that's okay. In fact, companies that support their employees' personal growth, even if it means saying goodbye, often create long-term ambassadors who speak highly of them for years to come. Businesses that cheer on their employees' dreams rather than punish them for leaving are the ones that will thrive in this new era. The Great Resignation isn't a warning sign, it's a wake-up call. People have changed. Their values have shifted. They want more than just a paycheck. They want purpose, balance, and a life that feels good to live. And that's not a bad thing. In fact, it's a powerful opportunity for workers to align their careers with their values and for companies to finally evolve and put humans first. So whether you're someone who's recently quit, someone thinking about it, or a leader trying to figure out how to keep your team happy, remember, this moment is a reset button. and it's up to all of us to use it wisely. If you found this video helpful or thought-provoking, do me a small favor. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. I publish videos every week on work, life, marketing, and everything in between. And of course, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Have you quit your job recently? Are you considering it? What changes do you think businesses really need to make? Let's keep this conversation going. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.